read a romance novel, and I liked it. Don't judge me. I wasn't sure I'd like it. I thought I'd be making fun of the cheesy dialogue and eye-rolling at the endless tension. So how much tension could there be? We live in this age of instant gratification. The only tension nowadays is whether your thumb will swipe left or right. But then the characters, well, they were so relatable. When Rosie finally told Aidan how she felt, my heart did this weird thing. I think it skipped a beat. My name is Jim. This is my channel, Books, Reading and Stuff. I rarely read romance, so how did this happen? A few days ago, I was quietly reading my book when my wife interrupted.
You are always reading those boring books. Why not try to read something with a bit more passion?
Romance isn't my jam, particularly contemporary romance, but I do like to read outside my comfort zone at times. Should guys read romance novels? Let me know in the comments. I own very few romance books. I have a single Jane Austen here, Persuasion. I have read others. I would prefer to have a copy of Emma or Pride and Prejudice, but I just have this one. I have this, The Secret of Another Desert by Kargarateli. This is the worst book I've ever read while I've been on BookTube. The heroine gets kidnapped in North Africa and she falls in love with her captor, a silver-eyed Bedouin, in a nauseating case of Stockholm Syndrome. This was very badly translated and the geographical integrity just wasn't there. I also have this, I haven't read it, Colleen Hoover. I use it as a prop occasionally for BookTube. Should I read this? Let me know. Many of the books I read have a romantic subplot. Louis L'Amour's westerns, they have a romantic subplot where the lonesome drifter is often seen aiding a damsel in distress in between the gunfights and looking for the cattle thieves. And I really loved The Time Traveller's Wife, which is a romance with a major time travel component. And I enjoyed Bridget Jones' Diary, but I enjoyed that more for the comedy than for the romance, it must be said. And with sapphic romance, I loved Tipping the Velvet, but I was less enamoured with the gay romance of Song of Achilles between Patroclus and Hercules. I was thinking of choosing an Emily Henry for this venture into contemporary romance, as she, along with Colleen Hoover, dominates the genre. But then I saw this, not in my book, on NetGallery by Katie Holt, and I was intrigued by the blurb. It's a book billed as The Hating Game meets Beach Read. I don't know The Hating Game, but I was considering getting Beach Read. Not without my book is quite meta. It's like a romance Inception. It's set in New York, which is a very romantic city, particularly around Christmas time, those cozy meetups, the snow, the lights and everything. And there's a writing class in NYU, and there's these two aspiring authors, Rosie and Aidan. Rosie is this Peruvian-American sunshine romance writer from Tennessee, where everything is pink, and she's very invested in romance. Aidan, by contrast, is this grumpy literary fiction writer who looks down on the romance genre. Aidan felt the need to berate me every single class, but he is hot. He has a strong jawline, green eyes, and perfectly combed hair. No, I don't have any. That looks incredibly soft. He's about a foot taller than Rosie. Rosie struggles to control her feelings for him. I got a whiff of his cologne, somehow warm and sharp. I pretended I didn't love it. And later, I wonder how his lips would feel on mine. In the class, the two clash hard. His jibes at romance with its overdone tropes and unrealistic men, and she dismisses his writing as his Faulkner fanfic. There's a constant back and forth banter between the two, which finally pushes their professor to give them an ultimatum: co-write a novel or fail the semester. Through the characters in the book they're writing, the characters Max and Hunter, the two writers are able to express their feelings for each other, which change, as you might expect, from antagonism to a blossoming romance where they develop a real chemistry. Their professor also suggests for homework that the two writers go on a fake date as Max and Hunter to inform their writing better. Just focus on not killing each other so we can hear all about it in the next class. This is a true rivals to lovers slow burn with all the feels and the angst. It's an open door romance, so there are a couple of spicy, steamy scenes, including one they write for their characters. Both characters, Aidan and Rosie, have this strong stubborn streak which can be infuriating at times. But if they went from rivals to lovers too quickly, then I guess there'd be no story. And even when the chemistry develops between them, there are still some bumps along the way. I actually became invested in the characters and hoped they would get what they want. I would have liked more detail about the secondary characters, the classmates, Rosie's family, and Aidan's strict father, and maybe less eye-rolling. I'd rate this book as 4.5 out of 5. It was a very impressive debut novel. It's had a lot of ratings already on Goodreads, but it's not out until December. And let's just say there could be room in my reading life for a little romance. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a thumbs up. This will help me with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.